honestly, I am pleasantly surprised with the result here. This is the first official tasting. You get a, well, not live look at it, but it's live for me. I'm recording this right now. All right, hey everybody, James again. I'm excited to do a follow-up about the fermentation process that finished last year. In general, I'm excited to be sharing more tobacco videos. This is really something that I do as a personal project to keep myself busy. I have my regular job and my business, and whenever I'm free from that, I like to spend time with my kids and spend time with, as my wife calls it, my mistress, which are my tobacco plants. It's kind of funny, she jokes with it, but she's great and understands this hobby. And eventually, you know, my objective is to turn it into a commercial enterprise and sell cigars. I'm going for cigars. All right, let's just get to it. What I have here are some leaves. These are the Manchiquera spade, as I mentioned in the last video. And what does that say? I'm reading backwards here. It says, oh, started storage on October 2023. So it's been over 1 year in storage. And the type of leaf is the Seco, which is not the bottom rung. It's the next one up on the plant. Important to make sure you label your leaf type. If it's the Seco, the bottom one is called the Volado. The absolute bottom is Volado, Seco, and then you have the Viso, and then the Ligero, which are the top ones. So these are the Secos. And the type that I'm going for is a cigar long filler here. So this is not wrapper, this is filler for a cigar. Seco, it's been cured and fermented and in storage for 1 year, started October 2023. And I was very, very, very happy with the results of the fermentation of these leaves. So let's see if I can find a beautiful leaf here. Now, these are dry. I removed the stems because I don't want any molding, and they get removed anyway. Sometimes they're stored with the stems, sometimes they're stored without. I chose to store without because I just don't have the facilities like the big producers that store with. Let's see what else we got here. Got a bunch of them. Take them all out. Well, not all of them, but here they are. So these have been fermented. And now they're just aging. Nice leaf, huh? Looks like a whale. Yeah, so anyway, these are the leaves, okay? And this is the final result. Enough talking. Here's my trusty pipe. Nothing in it at this point, so let's break it up. Now, just as by comparison, a region here in Brazil that produces tobacco for cigarettes and pipes, this stuff is so sweet. Oh my God. They're probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from where I am. So this is the same region, probably a very similar variety, but they process it different. They do the what's called fumo de corda, which is rope tobacco. They twist it real tight, and that twisting gets the oils to ferment on themselves, and they bake it in the sun with all those oils. That's a totally different process than what I'm going for, because you can't ever use that in a cigar. I'm going for cigars. So at best, you can only use it for cigarette and pipe. but it is a really good comparison for what I want to get in terms of a flavor profile, because this is sweet. I'm talking sweet, sweet, sweet. I describe it as a salted caramel. It has a caramel, vanilla, and this is no additive. It's just straight tobacco that they roll up. But you can smell vanilla. I don't know why or how. It's sweet and it tastes like caramel, and then something happens in the smoking process on the tongue and in the mouth. The chemicals, whatever they are that are in there, they almost induce a type of salty flavor. So I compare this to salted caramel. It's just delicious. So let's see, now that I smoked this morning already, coming into the office and getting to work, I usually get a pipe to go, start the day, start the thinking process. Let's see how my tobacco, the seco leaves that have been fermented for 3.5 weeks, intended for cigars, and aged for 1 year and 3 months. Let's see how they taste. So I'm just gonna break this guy up. Okay, so just a simple breakup for my pipe. Let's go ahead and pack the pipe. A little bit of rebound, even though I haven't rehydrated them after storage, which is usually what's done before preparing. Anyway, that's a good sign that it's a little reboundy, a little rebound to the leaf. There it is. Let's give it a taste. So this is 100% from seed to soil, through the curing, through the fermentation, 100% here on my farm. And aged for 1 year and 3 months. Definitely better that it's been aged for 1 year and 3 months. Smokable. Absolutely. Kind of tastes like a cigarette smoke, which is not my favorite. To be honest, I really like the sweet, well fermented pipe tobacco that I think most of us who smoke pipes are accustomed to, or cigars. Got some tar in the lip. That's a good sign. Taste that tar. Tastes green. That tar tastes green. Bitter. So that's how I know that it's not quite right. Close. Very close. Very close, but it's not quite right. It's like semi-pleasurable. Now that I'm getting that tar in the back of my tongue, you get a little bit of that hint of, I'm smiling, you can't hide it, of that just great tobacco flavor. It's making me smile naturally. But it does taste a little green. It does taste like it could have benefited from more fermentation. What does that mean? The nicotine, anybody who has not smoked a pipe or smoked a cigar, I must say the following. Nicotine is a wonderful stimulant from nature, and with, obviously, right, everything in moderation is good, I believe, even nicotine. But the smoking, let me just keep this rolling, hold on one second. I already lost it while I was talking. The smoking of a cigar or a pipe, there's a reason that it's associated with concentration, contemplation, and calm, as opposed to a cigarette, which I'm not digging on anybody who smokes a cigarette. If you want to smoke a cigarette, go for it. I just personally don't prefer it. My wife smokes cigarettes, that's fine. But the pipe and the cigar, the way that the nicotine is absorbed to the body is obviously fundamentally different from a cigarette. The nicotine is absorbed into the body through the mouth cavity, right? Through all the glands that you have in your mouth, and through your tongue. And that absorption mechanism is a lot slower than a cigarette. The cigarette, you're inhaling it into your lungs, and that transfer is almost immediate, the effect of the nicotine to the brain through the lungs, whereas through the mouth cavity, it's a slow absorption of nicotine, very slow. And that slow absorption of nicotine into the body lends itself naturally to a calm state of being, as opposed to an agitated state of being with the cigarette. So I think that's the biggest difference, is the delivery of nicotine to the body through the different ways of smoking. All right, and for anybody who doesn't know, you do not inhale with a pipe, you do not inhale with a cigar. In fact, I hate inhaling smoke. It's just personal preference, not digging on anybody. I'm just saying I personally just don't like it. And then, if you take care of your teeth, they stay white. This little yellow here is just because I just got some tar there, but I'll brush that off. The teeth and gums are in good health. You just take care of yourself, right? And I smoke a lot. So let's light this back up and do another tar experiment. I will show you. Most smokers probably already know this. If you're an avid cigar smoker or a pipe smoker, you probably know what I'm talking about with the tar taste. It's one of my favorite things to do with a good cigar is do this tar taste, because the tar taste is really, really sweet. So let's get this rolling. Honestly, this is pretty good. This year and 3 months of aging it really did well by it. So I just want to get a rolling burn here. Once you have a rolling burn, fill up your mouth cavity with smoke and blow it through the smallest possible hole. Just emptying your cheeks. Use your cheek muscles. A little bit of tar. Let me try it again. I don't think I have enough in here. Let me honestly, I am pleasantly surprised with the result here. I think this variety, the Manchikita Spade with the thicker leaf, is obviously the way to go. Really, just a better leaf than what I did last year. Last year, I saw this plant growing. It was beautiful. It was in a neighbor's house. It was big and grew straight and tall, but the leaves were just not thick enough. So I went back to my slow grower, but it's a thicker leaf. Yeah, I'm liking this flavor profile. I am really liking this flavor profile. So you gotta be patient. You have to age your tobacco. 1 year and 3 months is just the starting point, right? This is the first, you're watching me take the first real taste of my tobacco that's been fully cured and fermented and aged for 1 year and 3 months. This is the first official tasting. You get a, well, not live look at it, but it's live for me. I'm recording this right now, obviously. So I just filled it up again. Man, kind of happy right now with this result. There's the tar. Taste it. A little too spicy, a little too green. Too spicy, too green. Spice is good, but it's got that green flavor. But man, is it close. So close. The aftertaste is actually pleasant. Maybe this isn't a lost batch after all. Maybe this is a question of age it for 3 years. I might really like it. The smell is green. It does smell like a cigar, but a little green. I mean, as you can see, I'm smoking this and it's pleasurable. I would say it is probably around 70% pleasurable. This stuff that I smoke all the time is like 95% pleasurable. I mean, they nailed whatever they're doing to make that, they nailed it. I'm very satisfied. Nothing. So the green abrasive entry of the smoke to the mouth, that first initial impression, totally gone. Doesn't exist. You can't even tell. You could just, if I gave this to a person who smokes cigarettes, not saying that, well, manufactured cigarettes, they would probably not be able to tell a difference at all. As I said, the aroma is a little bit green. The flavor profile as it enters the mouth, not green. The tar test is a little green. Let's test one last time with the tar, and then we're gonna switch for comparison. I want a shock comparison. I'll explain. Get it rolling. A little bit of tar there, not enough. Let's do another one. There we go. Tar. Let's taste it. Pleasurable. Pleasurable. Very good. Spicy. Good. Wow. I am more surprised. I thought this would taste worse. I am pleasantly surprised. So, wow, if I had gone for 5 weeks as opposed to 3.5, man, I think I would just be blown away. No abrasiveness. I don't feel nausea at all. I feel normal. Hits nicotine. I can feel the nicotine hit. But again, it's that slow absorption, feels good, feels normal, feels natural. Clean my palate. Now I want a back-to-back shock test. This is the best way to see how your tobacco stands up to anyone else or any other manufacturer's tobacco. Shock your palate. So I'm very fresh with what mine tasted like. Right? I know exactly what mine tastes like. I know the aroma that I just smelled. I know the tar that I just tasted. Let's go ahead and shock my system with a complete direct comparison side by side and do the exact same test. So this is a tobacco process using the rolled method where they squeeze the rope tobacco and put it in the sun. They repeat that for a long time until it becomes black, black, black. This is the result. Brazilian fumo de corda. I just packed my pipe with the fumo de corda from Brazil, from a neighboring city, from Três Machados. Is the name of the city where this is from. It's actually close to where the famous soccer player Pelé, the Brazilian soccer player, was originally from. It's a neighboring town there in the state of Minas Gerais. If you want to look it up. Três Machados, that's where this tobacco comes from, not far from where I am. Similar growing conditions, similar variety, I would imagine. Let's light it up and do a taste comparison. The aroma is much more pleasant. I taste the vanilla immediately. Whether they added vanilla, which I don't think they did because they don't advertise it, whatever happened in their chemical transformation, the vanilla is present right on the outset. Or vanilla flavor, I should say, similar to a vanilla flavor. The smokability is about the same. The flavor in the mouth is about the same. Not a big difference at all. Now that I've compared mine to theirs. The aroma's better. The flavor in the mouth on the outset is about the same. Let's do the tar test. Back of the mouth, when it hits the back of the tongue, the aftertaste, much better with this this fumo de corda. It's sweeter. It's like straight up sweeter. All right, it's much sweeter. I can taste it right now. It's sweet. It's very delicious. This will be maybe like a 90% rating. The best best tobacco I've ever tasted was a Cuban cigar. It's called the Petit Robusto. That's the size. So it's a Robusto. It's about the size of my wedding ring in terms of the ring gauge. So it sits in the hand pretty thick. but it's petite, and then it's not a big one like a Churchill or a large standard. It's a petite Robusto from Cuba called Hoyo de Monterrey. Hoyo, like a leaf. I think that's how you say leaf in Spanish. Hoyo. Hoyo de Monterrey, petite Robusto. Best tobacco I've ever tasted in my life from Cuba. All right, let's do the tar test on this and we'll finish this video. Not enough tar there. Getting there. Let's do one more. Good enough tar. Peppery as well. Wasn't enough tar there to really give it a good taste, which is interesting. It's starting to get smoky in here. I'm gonna set that off to the side for now. I wonder if, you know, I don't seem to ever get a lot of tar with these. Let me try one last time. Get some tar here. I usually smoke with a fan. Not a lot of tar. Huh, interesting. Well, couldn't really do an adequate tar taste with this, which is interesting. I wonder if that's the processing method. I bet you it is, because a lot of those juices and tars, I'm just theorizing right here, in the fumo de corda, which is the rope tobacco, it's twisted until all those juices basically come out and start to like permeate that rope, and then they sit it in the sun and they bake it in the sun, and all those tars kind of crystallize and ferment the tobacco that way. I'm wondering if the tar isn't so present in this because that's the way that they process it. The tar being present in mine is a good indication, because every single cigar that I've ever smoked produced in South America. I've actually only had South American cigars, to be totally honest. I started smoking cigars, I already lived in Brazil, so I like cigars from Nicaragua, from Cuba, from Brazil. There are some really good cigars that come out of Bahia, Brazil. And every single one that I've done that tar taste with, where you blow it through that small hole in your mouth, they all do the tar mark right down there. All of them. So that's, to me, a good indication that the method that I'm using to produce these leaves, which I intend for cigar production, is actually on point. So, to summarize, I am very positively surprised today with the testing of this tobacco. The aging helped so much. It turned a basically not smokable leaf, like right after you finish fermentation. Your fermentation could have been correct, but without that aging, it's gonna taste green. And I tried this other one, right? This the thinner leaf that I showed you broke apart and stuff. I tried that after I finish the fermentation, and I had that, you know, kind of, it's like it's smokable, but it's not enjoyable type of thing. I don't have that anymore with this stuff that's been aged. It's smokable and enjoyable. It's pleasant. The things that were lacking. Yeah. All right, babe, coming in. The things that were lacking from mine, the aroma, the actual smell of the smoke, the ambient smell, smelled green, and the taste, the tar taste, tasted green at the outset, then sat sweet at the back of the tongue. So that tells me that I'm on the right track, I think. That's the takeaway. I'm really encouraged because this was my first round of fermenting tobacco and aging it. These are the very first leaves I ever did in my life. And man, I'm happy. So from here going forward, what will I change? Not much, but I am going to ferment for 5 weeks as opposed to 3.5. And I'm gonna age everything for a minimum of a year, probably going forward 2 years before I really taste it. And so I think if I do that, increase my fermentation by 1.5 weeks, so it's a total of 5 weeks, maybe 5.5 weeks, and age for 2 years, I think that, man, I'm gonna have a pretty awesome product. So I wanted to give this follow-up. I will post some videos of the continuing process of growing. This year, video 4 showed starting the seed. From here on out, with the exception of maybe some interpolating videos like this one, you will see the entire process carry through. This is the first year that I'm prepared to go through the whole process from start to finish. But it's as you can see, like a 3.5 years from seed to smokability. 3.5 years. You have to age it. 1.5 years to grow from seed to harvest to curing to fermenting is 1.5 years. Then you store it for 2 years or 1 year minimum to test it, like I just did here. So, I mean, the seeds that you watched in video 4, only in 2.5 years will we be smoking those to test them. All right, I hope that everybody enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.